let me share with you, this is one of the ways that we end up hurting ourselves the most. But before I start the topic off, show reel. Pranam, Namaste, my name is Garret. Before I start the topic off, please make sure you guys remember to hit like, subscribe and comment your learnings in the comment section below. I'm dedicated to make 4 videos a week to spread more light and positivity out there to the world. It's also nice to know where you guys are tuning in from so we could actually connect within this space, okay? And just so you know, my baby girl Kira, she's just sleeping beside me right now, and just in case she wakes up and makes some noises, please pardon me as I can't cut away the sound, okay? So the topic, let's head into it, okay? How do we, one of these ways that we actually end up hurting ourselves, okay? Let me share with this little scenario that usually happens on a daily basis, okay? And it may seem quite a small thing to most, but when I point it out, it makes a lot of sense to you, okay? So this scenario goes like this, okay? There's this wife, okay, this housewife. She wakes up at very early in the morning, 6 a.m, okay, and she started to prepare this luxurious breakfast for the husband, okay, and she prepared with a lot of effort, a lot of love, a lot of effort, okay. So she cooked a very sumptuous meal, okay, and the husband just woke up in the morning days and he prepared to go to shower and actually get ready for work, okay. So when he showered and everything is done, the wife told him to come over to the kitchen and have their breakfast. So in his train of thoughts, he's actually really thinking about work. He's really thinking about, oh, what are the work I need to submit today? What are the meetings that I need to attend? How many people do I need to call? What are the sales things that I need to prepare, all the documents? So that is all inside his mind, okay? So when his wife told him to go over for the meal, he's just, oh, okay, I'll just go over. So in his mind, while they were eating, he eat really quickly because he's all thinking about work already, right? So that is what is the usual basis of what most people are doing right now, okay? They are not in the zone. So what ends up happening is that he quickly finished up the meal, and the wife did not actually have a lot of time to actually converse with him. So he did not give any feedback on the food, did not comment anything about the effort of the wife, okay. So what happened was, before he actually left the house, when he's actually at the door out to the car, okay, the wife shouted out, did you have any feedback for me, because I woke up really early to prepare this sumptuous meal for you? And in the train of thoughts that has been disturbed, the husband, oh yeah, the food is good, what did you cook? So that was the first thing that triggered the wife's response. So the wife actually got triggered already, okay, this part. So second thing is it was delicious when the wife told him about what food that she prepared, okay. And then the husband would say, oh, this is a delicious a good meal, okay, however my mother prepared better than you. So that is the second triggering point. So after that he left, go to work, go to the office and go work, okay. So immediately that 2 triggering points started to get triggered in the minds of the housewife, okay. So guess what happens, okay, on a daily basis, what would happen? You can actually imagine and start to think in the shoes of the housewife. So that simple sentence of, it's delicious, however my mother prepared better than you, that simple sentence, when in that instance she took that thought into her mind, immediately it became more and more. It started to generate more thoughts, okay, starting to write a new entire story from just one single sentence, okay. So what would likely happen is, I woke up, the next sentence will most likely be in her mind, most likely be, I woke up so early in the morning just to prepare such a sumptuous meal for you, and this is all I got. That's the first sentence. the next sentence that would likely happen is, oh, I've actually put in all this effort. I quit my job because I wanted to look after the family, and I became a housewife, okay, and I gave up all my ambitions because I wanted to look after this family, and this is the kind of treatment that I'm gonna get. So that's the most likely the second or the third thought. So you see, this is the funniest. You might think it's quite funny actually. In fact, it is quite funny if you think from this perspective. Okay, the necessary sentence all spurred from just one sentence. Okay, and you'll be thinking that, oh, it's just a few sentences afterwards subsequently, right? No, because why? The mind generates at least 25 thoughts per minute. Okay, so what would likely happen? You would most likely become an entire book when she is writing in her mind. Okay, you will most likely be, oh, then this is such an ungrateful person. I'm not your mother. Why should I be cooking it in the way she likes her food to be? I should prepare the food the way I like it to taste. Okay, so there's so many thoughts that's gonna stir up just from that single sentence. Okay, so when, take for instance, if the husband wouldn't even know about this because this is driven inside the mind. Okay, and what happens is, if let's say she's writing all these books inside her mind right now, she's generating all these unhappy thoughts, all this unhappiness that's going on. Okay, she's hurting who? She's hurting herself, right? Because why? All these thoughts are from herself. Does she have a choice? Think about it. Does she actually have the choice to think of happy thoughts? Does it really have a choice to think about all this continuation of the story? So she actually has a way to not think about writing this continuous story, right? Because if she continues writing, it will get worse, right? So she's just actually torturing herself. She's making herself miserable. And what happens if, in the worst case scenario, if her mother or her friend, her sister, rings her at this point, what will become worse? It will become worse because straight away the mother, the friend, or any person, her sister also, were to ask what happened, she will make it into a big story now. So it's no longer just one simple sentence. It's gonna become an entire drama, an entire movie that's been directed by herself. You see, it's not just gonna be, the food tastes delicious, however my mother prepared better than you. Okay, it's gonna be even more serious. And what's worse is that the friend or the mom or the sister or whoever that ring her would most likely agree with her, because nobody wants to piss her off any more further, right? So the most common response would most likely be, yeah, I agree with you, he shouldn't be saying that, things like that. And they are condoning her thoughts and condoning her books of story that she's writing in her mind. You see, so what is actually causing this unhappiness? Is she causing her unhappiness by herself, or is the husband causing her to be unhappy? So we can get to choose. We can get to actually decide the type of thoughts that we need to generate. You see, because end of the day, she is always thinking of the next few sentences that's going to be progressing into the next more sentence, and it's going to continue more and more. She'll be thinking, oh, I put in so much effort and he didn't even recognize it, and now he's saying that I should learn from the mother, or things like that. She's gonna, it's all these thoughts, you see. Who wouldn't have thought of this thought? We are human beings, and we all can think of a particular scenario continuously. So this is the most torturous way that we actually end up hurting ourselves with. So now put it into a different perspective. Ask yourself this question, okay? So take for instance, now how does this simple sentence of "it tastes delicious, however my mom prepared better than you," how can she generate the next thought to be in order to stop the entire writing of the whole novel or into a drama? Okay, the next thought can most likely be, it can be, I'm not your mother, okay? I am your wife, and I like the way I prepared this food to taste. So if she had that thought, you will most likely end up with another thought only. Okay, one or two thoughts maybe. And then that's it. The whole chapter is closed. It won't end up spurring into a a more difficult situation down the road. Okay, or he could even simply be thinking, I would learn it from your mother. Okay, that thought. That is the most positive thought. Okay, however, that most people don't usually think in that level already. Okay, so I can learn it from my mother. Okay, so that simple thought can close that chapter also. Okay, or the third thought should be, I will prepare the meal better next time. Okay, so that could be another positive thought. Also, that it takes a lot of self-realization for you to be able to let go of your ego to be having that kind of thought. Okay, because whenever a person is really triggered, most likely the next thought will most likely be very negative. So, end of the day, if you recognize that the power of our own happiness actually comes from within, okay, come from this mind, is how we actually self-direct. You see, it all is actually just a simple thought, and sometimes the husband don't even know why he said that. Okay, certain people say things they are not in the train of thoughts, you see, and when they say certain things, they are saying things that they don't rightfully mean it. Okay, so if we let this multiply further, then we end up hurting ourselves more. Okay, and if we learn to recognize that this power is within our own control, it's our choice to make the right thoughts, then we will not torture ourselves further. You see, so this is the most important lesson that we need to all learn, because, like it or not, sadness, angry, frustrations, upset, happiness, or thrill, or whatever emotions, right, is all within us. It's within our control. Okay, and if we choose to let other people take control over our emotions, we will choose to blame others. We will always say that, oh, it's all his fault, this person is doing this to me, saying this and that. Don't blame everything else, because when we choose to blame others, then we will not, our powers is actually in their hands. Okay, when we say we blame that people, okay, or we blame that situation. So if that happens, if you continue to blame other people, what will happen is, from work, come back, they will end up into a fight. They will end up quarreling at night. Because why? Husband's willpower is low. Okay, and wife is thinking of the whole entire drama that has been going on in her own mind, whereby the husband didn't even say anything from, besides that only single sentence from that morning. So the whole self-directed drama or story that is inside her play, that she's written throughout that entire day, has actually spurred to be a worse spiral. Okay, so that would actually cause the relationship to deteriorate further down the journey of life. Okay, so next morning she will wake up feeling more upset. She will not be motivated to even prepare breakfast anymore. Then the relationship will get very cold. Husband don't even talk to wife don't talk to husband again. So this is the ripple effect, you see. So everything, small actions lead to big results. Okay, same thing, small thoughts lead to bigger thoughts and bigger effects down the road. So we should learn how to stop hurting ourselves. Okay, so in this scenario and in this whole understanding of perspective of how our thoughts and our mind works, I hope you learn something from this video and put it into your daily practice and learn to avoid all this kind of negative thinking. Okay, with that, the end of this video. Pranam, Namaste. Please comment your learning in the comment section below. It's also nice to know if you have other kind of thoughts that would be the best way for her to navigate off this situation. I would like to hear some of the interesting ones. Okay, with that, I'm ending this off. Pranam, Namaste.